Hello everybody, this is Tommy from Capital Discount Nutrition, and today we're at the grocery store. This isn't a specialty grocery store, it's just a regular grocery store that you can find in almost any town. Today I'm going to talk about 4 foods: apples, bananas, avocados, and blueberries. 4 foods that you can add to your diet to help you boost your energy levels, stay healthy, and suppress appetite. That's the key thing, is suppressing your appetite, eating less. So whatever you're doing right now, just incorporating these 4 foods will help improve your health, and we'll explain each food and tell you why it's good. Recently I saw a quote by Albert Einstein that said, "The persistent problems we have cannot be solved at the same level of thinking with which we created them." And basically, we don't need a genius to tell us that there's something wrong with the standard American diet. So I think just by starting out slowly, using the philosophy of addition subtraction, what we can do is we could subtract some food that we're eating now and add in a good food that will help replace it. But before we do any of that, let's just start by adding these 4 foods and incorporating them into our diet. So let's go in the store and check out the foods. Now, before we incorporate any of these foods in our diet, we want to make sure that we're drinking plenty of water. Now, tap water, municipal water is okay, but it's good to have some kind of a water filtration system in your house. And if you're, taking water for on the go, make sure you have some kind of water filtration system. I use this. I have Brita at home. It's not the best filter. I imagine you could, find a better one on the internet. But Brita is actually one that you can purchase at the store. And remember, these are just practical. This is a practical guide for when you shop at a store, a regular store that's accessible, that's in your neighborhood. Now, the Brita filter is really good for removing all the microbial cysts, the persistent organic pollutants, the xenoestrogens, all these different, weird ingredients that can still be found in tap water. And the chlorine, too, which helps, remove all the bad microorganisms and bacteria. So with the Brita filter, it's easy to install. Put this right on your faucet at home. And then you can actually purchase, glass jars, and then carry these glass jars with you. You want to avoid plastics. Plastics, have bisphenol A. Bisphenol A isn't good for it. It's called BPA. It's an endocrine disruptor. So, using glass, you're going to avoid any kind of toxins and pollutants. And then incorporating the Brita filter, you get healthy, clean water. It's just something that, the water's going to taste better, and it's going to be a lot better for you. So this is just a Brita filter, and again, you could probably find a better water filter, but the Brita filter is just something that you could incorporate and find at your neighborhood grocery store.
The apple, the forbidden fruit. This has a long history, going all the way back to Greek mythology, where Heracles had to get the apple from the tree of life. We have our own history of the apple here in America, where Johnny Appleseed, John Chapman, the gardener and missionary, planted thousands of apple trees throughout the Midwest. The apple's a great food to have right before a meal. You'll eat 20% less. It'll inhibit 2 enzymes, alpha amylase and alpha glucosidase. Those are enzymes that cause the rapid conversion of starches into glucose. It also has pectin, a soluble fiber, and soluble fiber is really good for removing cholesterol, bile acids, and toxins out of the body. It'll also be converted to butyric acid by 2 probiotic strands, Clostridium and Bacteroides. This will help energize your endothelial cells so you're absorbing more nutrients. Has an insulin sensitizing effect. Apples are also really good too to prevent lipid peroxidation. So it's a great food to have right before your meal. You're going to eat less. It's going to protect your cells from oxidative damage. Here's the dark red pigmentation on the apple. This is where the antioxidants are. So bite into an apple, have it right before a meal, and you're going to eat 20% less.
So we're here looking for organic bananas. Now, there is a very small section. They only have one basket that carries the organic bananas, and this looks like they've been picked through pretty well. But usually they do have organic bananas at almost any grocery store. Remember, this is a regular grocery store. Bananas are a great snack to have. You can eat 2 or 3 bananas a day. It's a rich source of vitamin B6, fiber. It has those antioxidants in there. These have the pigmentation in there. So when you're peeling a banana, you want to keep that pith on there, and you want to try to eat that. Don't try to just throw those little strings away. Those have the antioxidants in there. This is also a good source of potassium. Now, potassium helps control sodium levels in your body, so it can have a good effect on blood pressure. So this is a really good food to incorporate in your diet. Again, apples and bananas, they do have sugars, but there's also fibers along with the fructose. So it's not going to rapidly digest like other foods. And one thing that I forgot to mention about the apples is that they actually inhibit alpha amylase and alpha glucosidase. Those are two enzymes that will cause the rapid conversion of starches into glucose. So apples can actually inhibit that. Bananas do not have that ability, but they are a great food to incorporate. I've eaten 2 to 3 bananas in a row and I've never noticed any type of blood sugar spike. I've never had any issues with it. I always feel good when I use the banana. Again, it's a great source of potassium, which is super healthy for you, and that's going to be good to help control sodium levels in the body and help lower blood sugar levels, or I'm sorry, help lower your blood pressure levels. So bananas are a great food to incorporate, and they'll supply your body with the phytonutrients and the antioxidants to protect your cells from oxidative damage, protect your cells from reactive oxygen species and free radicals. So a great food, and it tastes great. Anybody in the family, everybody in the family can have these. These are great.
Avocados. This is a great food to have. Many people are on the fence about avocados because they have a lot of fats, but the fats that they have are good. It has oleic acid, which is omega-9, which is also found in olive oil, polyhydroxylated fatty alcohols, which are really interesting because they're only found in sea vegetables, making avocados really unique, being one of the only land foods to have polyhydroxylated fatty alcohols. These are really good for activating fat transport molecules. You could take avocados or eat avocados and take your vitamin D3 and fish oil. You'll absorb them better. Avocados go great with any carotenoids, especially the carotenoids that are found in bell peppers, green, red, yellow bell peppers, carrots. Those carotenoids are fat soluble. So in order to better absorb them, eating an avocado, which can activate those fat transport molecules and activate pancreatic lipase, you'll absorb them a lot better. And with vitamin D3, which is so critical, it's every single tissue in your body has a receptor for it, thus making it a hormone. It's important to get the proper absorption of vitamin D3. So eating a good fatty food like avocado will help you absorb it better. Avocados are great too because you're going to eat less. You're going to eat 20% less. Very similar to the apple. When you have an avocado right before a meal, you're just going to eat less. It's going to taste good, has the antioxidant in there, so really super healthy for you.
Here we are at the frozen food section. They're out of blueberries, but we found the strawberries. Blueberries are a great food to incorporate in your diet. And same thing with strawberries. You can actually add them into smoothies. When you add them to a smoothie, especially the frozen berries like the strawberries and the blueberries, it actually acts like ice. So it actually gives it a really good consistency. Now that dark pigmentation that's found in blueberries and strawberries are the antioxidants. And as we learned, the antioxidants are in the pigmentation. Now blueberries are a rich source of antioxidants. They get an ORAC value of 2,400. And remember, you want to have 10,000 ORAC units daily. So blueberries, strawberries are a great way to get your ORAC values. That stands for the oxygen radical absorbance capacity, or an ability of a food to turn off those free radicals, those molecules with unpaired electrons that damage the proteins and the carbohydrates of your cells and cause genotoxicity. Now, blueberries also have still beans in there, like pterostilbene. The still beans, the Greek etymological root for still bean is stilbos, which stands for shining, a shining food, a food that's going to help be a cellular protectant, to help preserve cellular and mitochondrial DNA from any kind of free radical. It's going to be nutritious. It's a good source of fiber. You'll notice regular bowel movements. You'll feel better when you eat these types of foods. Now strawberries, I love the taste of strawberries, but blueberries are ultimately what we wanted to talk about. Unfortunately, they were out of them. But again, you can find blueberries, you can find strawberries in any regular grocery store. And this is a regular grocery store, it's not a specialty grocery store, so these are very available. And now you go to the frozen food section, sometimes they'll have it in their own organic section, or sometimes they'll just have it on their own. These ones, they have them along with the other berries, the conventional berries, but again, you want to do USDA organic. That's going to be a lot healthier for you. That removes all the pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, all those weird ingredients that are incorporated in conventional foods. And if any family member sees you eating organic, just tell them, hey look, this is not weird. What's weird is all the weird chemicals that you can barely pronounce on all those different foods.
So we started out these videos with a quote from Albert Einstein that said, "The persistent problems we have cannot be solved at the same level of thinking in which we created them." Now, I quoted Albert Einstein to basically say that we don't need a genius to tell us that we need a new perspective when things need to be changed. The modern American diet, or the standard American diet, which the acronym is SAD, obviously needs some improvement, and we need a different perspective on what role food plays in our lives. So we went to the store, we got our different foods, we learned how these foods can benefit our health in what they can provide for our bodies with their secondary metabolites, the antioxidants, and the importance of those antioxidants as cellular protectants. And then also, too, that these foods can be really good for suppressing appetite. So here's one of my favorite snacks, and I wanted to share this with you guys. So this is an avocado, and this is exactly what I do. Take a regular butter knife, I cut it open, real easy. Now, just remove the pit, just right here, kind of take off the meat on the avocado. Now, I use sea salt. Now you can pick this up at any of our locations. Now I put just a little bit on there, and don't be afraid of salt. This is sea salt. This is real salt. It's not bleached, deodorized, or stripped of any of its nutrients. And so now we have a good snack. And you just pick this up. Delicious. And here you want to scrape in right along the skin on the bottom, all the way down. That's where all the antioxidants are. This is where all the secondary metabolites are at. This is a great snack. And this is fast food. This is something that you can have at any time. One of the, best things about avocados is that they're fat soluble, or they have fat soluble antioxidants. They have polyhydroxylated fatty alcohols, and then they have the oleic acid. That's a great way to activate those chylomicrons, those fat transport molecules, and also activating lipase. So if you have fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D3, Garden of Life, you can actually have an avocado, and then you want to take your vitamin D3 with the avocado, and any fish oil that you have. All other carotenoids from carrots, apples, will actually absorb a lot better because those are fat-soluble also. So these are just kind of perspectives that I'm giving you. This is our first video. I hope that it helps you out. Mainly with the idea behind these foods is that they're going to help suppress your appetite. They're going to help give you energy. They're going to help protect your cells from oxidative damage. And water is the key thing too, and that's one thing that I brought up. Here's actually the Brita filter that we use. Pretty easy. Just turn it on. And I use glass bottles. Glass bottles to avoid the plastics, the bisphenol A, the BPA, which is the endocrine disruptor. So you can just fill these up in the morning and then take these along with you. Wine bottles are always really good. Do you drink the wine? You just clean them out and then use them to carry your water. Thank you very much for watching. And again, this is the first of many videos that we plan on doing just to kind of give you a perspective on the role that food can play in your life. And how important it is to maintain your health and suppress your appetite so you're eating less, protecting your cells from oxidative damage, and all around just, being healthy. So thank you very much for watching, and I'd like to close with another quote from the poet Alexander Pope. It's, "Consult the genius of the place and all." This means always appeal to reason and appeal to the genius of anything that you encounter, anything that you plan on doing. Consult the genius of the place and all. Thank you very much for watching.